Thank you, Dr. Deploy. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for the opportunity. I'll be presenting on behalf of the Medicinal Research and Development Team here at ARC-NSW. Now, my topic, which is a subtitle under the main topic that has been shared by Dr. Deploy, is Unlocking the Potential in Medicinal and Industrial Plant Value Chain. I think it is important for us to understand what medicinal and industrial plants are. We all know what food crops are and why we need them. But medicinal plants are those plants with healing properties, and therefore they have therapeutic benefits. Whereas industrial plants are those that need to be processed industrially first before they can then be further developed for various applications. For example, cotton, which has to be processed first before you can use it to make clothing. Now, the last part of my topic talks about the value chain. The value chain is the study of the full range of activities from the availability of plant material until the end product that will be available for consumers in the market. And the reason why we study the value chains is, one, for us to be able to understand the market functions of each commodity, it is important for us to study the value chain. And in this case, the commodities will be your medicinal plants or your industrial plants. But secondly, it is important for us to be able to facilitate interdependent activities, for us to be able to facilitate interdependent activities in the whole value chain so that there is a smooth flow from the availability of plant material until the end product that will be available on the shelf. Now, again, we need to understand, if we talk about the medicinal plant industry, in my presentation, I will focus more on the medicinal plants. I think my other colleagues will give you more on industrial plants. So for the medicinal plant industry, we just want to indicate how much actually is this industry worth. Now we can divide it into three sections. One, the primary production, which focuses mainly on the availability of plant material. According to research, this part is worth about $250 million. That is about 250 million rands. Now, by just adding value, basic processing like drying, grinding into powder and packaging, then the value is increased to just below 1 billion and about 920 million rands. Now, the final product that are on the shelves after product development, that part is said to be worth just above 2 billion rands. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we can see that there are opportunities in this whole value chain for SMME development. The value chain itself for the medicinal plants is quite complex, but I just want to indicate, firstly, the most important part is the production, where you have your plant material being produced. And this is important because the quality of the plant material that is produced at this level influences the quality of the final product that will be on the shelves. So this activity influences the whole value chain. Now, the production can be done with smallholder farmers or commercial farmers. In most cases, smallholder farmers will focus on your informal markets, but they do participate in formal markets to some extent. The informal market is characterized by less or no quality control. And one of the things is that the smallholder farmers, when they go to this small informal market, they compete with gatherers. These are people who collect from the wild. And now the disadvantage with this is that there is a lot of variation in terms of the plant material. Therefore, the quality is influenced a lot. However, the commercial producers on the other side, they work on relationship-based partnerships. So they mostly have contracts and they produce on contract basis. And they restrict quality control measures there because the material that is produced by the farmers has to meet certain quality standards. And once that has been done, the material has been produced, it then goes further for processing, and in between there are other logistical arrangements like your transportation and packaging and so forth. And once the material reaches the processors, then it is further after processing into final products distributed through various channels until it reaches the final consumer and it is on the shelf. Now we have a simplified version of the value chain. We can see the plant material, which is the beginning where you have production, and on the other side we have the consumers. That is where your products are now on the shelf. In between, we have primary production, where you have propagation and cultivation. And with this, there are inputs that are required, and therefore part of the value chain is supplying of seeds, fertilizers, and so forth. With some medicinal plants, seeds are not available, and therefore germplasm or basic plant material is collected, multiplied, and therefore you have enough material to do your cultivation in farms. After that, then comes post-harvest processing, basically to develop your products, that is secondary agriculture. Once you have the products, then the products are marketed, so they are distributed to different sales points for them to be available to the consumers. Now using pictures, we just want to show the value chain. In the Agricultural Research Council, we do research on different propagation techniques for different medicinal plants, where you can do vegetative propagation, or you can propagate using seeds. Once you have enough plant material, then we move to cultivation in farms. In this part, the ARC's role is to develop agronomic practices to say to the farmers, if you apply this much irrigation and this much fertilizers, it will help to improve your yields. But the next question is, once you have applied the agronomic practices, how is the quality of your medicinal plants influenced? And in this case, we're talking about the medicinal value. So the next step is quality control. Once the quality control has been, or the quality standards have been assured, we then look into product development. And product development is important because there are niche markets based on the needs of consumers. And at the end, we will have a final product in the shelves. Ladies and gentlemen, I will not give a conclusion for now, but my other colleagues who will be presenting after me will continue with the value chain so that at the end we'll give one final conclusion. Thank you.